my year, yeah.
Buddy, happy Friday. Welcome to the morning show here on Stock Market TV. Spencer Israel, JC Parets. No Strazza today. Strazza is traveling a little road trip up to Atlanta, I guess. So he'll be back on Monday, provided he survives the road trip. Should be fine. It's Crypto Friday, so we got to talk to Louis Sykes today. Big day for us here on the channel. Not only is today Crypto Friday, but today is also our special, you could say, like emergency crypto state of the markets event in light of what happened on Tuesday with the election, and in light of what happened after that with the cryptos blasting off and Bitcoin new highs, everything, breath thrust, meme tokens. We're doing a live event today at noon. JC and Louis. The link is in the chat. It is also in the description, the very top of the description on YouTube, I might add. So click on either of those links. You'll get the watch link for today's event at noon. We'll send a reminder out as well. So let's see. It's Friday. We have Louis. We have Alonso. I don't know about Kenny today. We'll find out if Kenny will be here. And we got you. We got chat. We got me. So let's roll. Smash the like. Here we go.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Spencer Israel.
Hey.
You know, I woke up this morning thinking about things. You know, I had a lot of time last night to think about things, and I was just kind of wondering, you know, watching what's happened in crypto over the last few days since Trump won the election. Like, I kind of just been thinking about, like, what is it that the Democrats were so against when it came to crypto? Like, what is the reason for the player hating? I tweeted it out. I got a whole bunch of answers.
Oh, did you get anything good?
What are your thoughts? Is there a reason that
were
the Democrats
there any good answers? I'm curious if there are any good answers to that.
The best answer I heard is that crypto is to liberals what marijuana is to Republicans. I thought that was funny. How true is that? That might be
sounds good. That sounds good. I'll give him that. It's even if it's not true, it sounds like it could be true. No, I mean, look, Trump like leaned into crypto a few months back, right? I thought it was a pretty like low-hanging fruit thing for him to do. He did it. It was easy. He clearly, if you watch his speeches, he doesn't know what the hell crypto is, but he doesn't have to know what crypto is.
Forget about Trump, because he just, you know, he surrounded himself by crypto people, so that was easy for him. But what about like Elizabeth Warren, for example? Like, granted, she's like far communist, like hardcore.
No, I think it comes down to some people are more are like naturally like skeptical. Regulate first, ask questions later.
True.
And then there are those that are like, let's let it play out and then we'll regulate, right? And that's sort of the two schools of thought. So it's either regulate first and then figure it out, or do the opposite of that.
Aren't Democrats traditionally like anti-business, and then Republicans are more business? I
mean, that's like the stereotype, right?
You don't think it's true?
I mean, there are a lot of stereotypes around both parties, right? That Republicans are fiscally responsible and liberals are fiscally irresponsible, but like they both spend a lot of money, right? They both run up deficits. So I think it's definitely fair to say that Democrats are more pro-regulation. Like, when in doubt, tie goes to the regulation, right?
No, that's probably the best answer I've heard. That one and the marijuana one.
That's the marijuana. And then the Republicans are, when in doubt, tie goes to the deregulation. And that's really what it comes down to. So,
oh, that's probably the best answer I've heard. Somebody said because of FTX, but the FTX was a TradFi Ponzi scheme. Like, it had nothing to do with crypto.
I mean, it had everything to do with crypto.
No, I mean, he was a Ponzi scheme, and then he used that money from the Ponzi scheme to invest in crypto. But that was human TradFi Ponzi. It had nothing to do with crypto.
Right.
That was the problem, is the humans were involved. Because if everything would have been in crypto, you would have had
right. And that was the ultimate irony of that whole thing, was the movement that promised no trust in third parties, and and they put their trust in one guy, and that guy ended up being not trustworthy, and the whole thing collapsed.
and stuff like that. Wasn't he like on crazy drugs? Like what was those drugs that Hitler was on? You know how like you see like Hitler like doing like that?
Barbiturates?
Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I'm guessing. I really don't know.
I think he was on meth. Wasn't Hitler on meth?
Oh, what? I have no clue. What are you
You
talking
haven't seen
about?
like when he's at the Olympics and he's doing like he's going like he can't stop shaking. I think it was methamphetamines. Is that it? I've never done any drugs, so I'm not like quite that familiar.
Um, no, I don't know.
To this day, people never believe me. I feel like my own parents don't believe me when I tell them I've never done drugs.
All right, the chat's saying Adderall and meth, and yeah, amphetamines. Okay, they're all saying amphetamines.
It
Cool.
was the same thing that Hitler was on. I feel like, right?
Well,
Excuse my
amphetamines
ignorance. I'm not such a drugs expert.
amphetamines was definitely a thing. Like I remember, like I know, like Willie Mays and all those guys were on amphetamines as well. Like,
Really?
yeah, a lot of those guys were. So,
Really? Wow.
is that? I guess that is meth. That's not crystal meth. That's a different drug. But
Oh, they're different. I see. I don't know that.
Yeah. Crystal meth is a different drug entirely. Amphetamines are yeah, that's a chemical process.
Isn't it methamphetamines?
Right, methamphetamines. Right, exactly. I don't know, but whatever.
All right. I got some charts. Let's go.
Okay, where did this conversation go? I don't even know. All right, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back.
We've got the Dow futures not doing much this morning, completely flat. New all-time highs just under 44,000 for the Dow. S&P 500 futures 6,000. 6,000. This is the first time in the history of the morning show that we start out the state of the markets with the S&P 500 futures north of 6,000. Spencer Israel.
Man, you're right.
Ain't that something? You got the NASDAQ 100 futures down 0.25%, 21,170. 30-year bond futures up 0.33% at 117. Crude oil down almost 2% at 71. Copper down over 2%, 433. Gold down 0.33%, just under 2,700. Silver down 0.33%, 3,175. With the VIX down under 15. VIX at 14. Wow. Now that's more like it. Dollar strength this morning across the space. You're seeing euro down 50 basis points, British pound down 50 basis points, yen flat. And then over in funny money land, you've got Bitcoin just under 76,000, Spencer, flat on the day. Ethereum up 1%, just under 3,000. Solana above 200. Pushing not quite all-time highs just yet, but right there, about to make a new all-time high. Solana 203. Up 3.5% on the day. Binance just under 600, flat on the day. Total crypto market cap, Spencer Israel, 2.52 trillion, with the Bitcoin dominance back under 60. Back to 59 for the Bitcoin dominance. Ethereum and Solana ripping probably have a lot to do with that, obviously. What do you think?
And you said we got to 2.7, right? Back in like March, April?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. On the Bitcoin dominance?
Yeah.
Oh, total crypto market cap.
Yeah. Total market cap. Sorry.
Yeah, we got as high as 2.7 in March. Cool. And then in 2021, we got to 3 trillion.
Cool. Look, there's a lot to talk about with crypto. We're not going to get into all that right now. We'll save a lot of it for the noon event. I know Lou's going to pop on in a couple minutes as well to kind of tee it up a little bit. But there's a lot to discuss between the majors.
Can I tease to this afternoon or noon, please? I got a chart. I got a hell of a chart. Hell of a chart.
Wait, like right now?
Yeah, it's on the deck.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I got to tell you, my charting, I've stepped up my charting game lately, I feel like. I feel like some of my charts are just far superior than at other points in my career.
In what sense?
I just think I stepped up my chart game lately.
Like the intellectual creativity behind them? Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, I think it's a combination. I'm not going to take all the credit. We got a hell of a team. The world needs more area charts and bubble charts, and we're getting those, more scatter plots. I think our charting game it's stepped up lately, Spencer. I don't know if you've noticed it, but I think I have. What do you guys think in the chat? Is our chart game on point these days? I feel like it is.
Well, the chart game has always been on point to me.
Now, this is a chart crime. And I will take it to you to tell me why this is a chart crime. But I make the rules around here, so I'm doing the crime, and I'm gonna explain why. But see if you can point out why this is a chart crime.
Oh, dude, well, you pinch the y-axis.
You got to pinch the y-axis, no matter how naughty it feels. You got to pinch it. Give it a good little pinch.
Yeah,
what do you think? Why is this a chart crime?
All right,
Come on, guys.
All right, it's got nothing to do with the y-axis. All right.
Nobody?
Well, let's give the chat a minute. Hold on. The chat's like a few seconds behind us. So what makes this a chart crime?
Come on, guys. Nobody's got it.
So far, no.
So far, nobody has been able to tell me why this is a chart crime. Spencer, no guesses? Nothing? You got nothing?
Well, I mean, I thought maybe the y-axis, but no, that's a feature, not a bug. Is it?
Nothing?
No. Oh, they're all saying because it's not log scale.
It is log scale.
It is log scale.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, nobody. All right, ready? The reason this is a chart crime is because it says new all-time highs, and in fact, MicroStrategies is not a new all-time high.
Oh my God, from like 30 years ago?
That's right. But the reason I broke the rules, other than the fact that I make the rules around here, we make our own rules, is that it's a new all-time high since MicroStrategies became the MicroStrategies that we know today. Right?
That was a trick question.
Was it a trick question?
Yeah.
Chart crime nonetheless, right, chat? Can you guys, can I get a witness? Chart crime, but an acceptable chart crime, right? Like jaywalking to like save a little dog that's crossing the street, right? Something like that. Like you're breaking the rules, but it's okay, you know?
Right. The actual, let me pull the actual all-time high of MicroStrategy.
333. Chris is right.
333?
Yep, he's got it.
From 2000, from April of 2000, no, January 2000?
Mike wants to know, can you say it's the same company? Technically it is, but Mike, you and I both know it ain't, right? Like it is, but it's not, right? So I broke the rules. And making new all-time highs since incorporating the Bitcoin strategy, which was like 4.5 years ago. And since then, since incorporating the Bitcoin strategy, one Michael Saylor has outperformed every single stock in the S&P 500, including NVIDIA. What a badass. Come on. Shout out Michael Saylor. You think we can get him on the show?
I've never tried, but he seems to be pretty available from a media standpoint.
I mean, he's got nothing else to do. Like, it's not like he's running a company. They're literally just buying Bitcoin. Look,
no, that's not true. Every so often they have to issue more shares or more debt.
Stop.
They have to raise money.
Stop. The guy doesn't do anything. You know what he says? I watched an interview with him once, and he says, I wake up every morning, I go to the gym, and then I spend the rest of the day just talking about Bitcoin. That's what he does. He goes to the gym. I mean, he looks good, right? That's what he does.
That's not the worst life.
No. And the funniest part is that it's working like really, really well, like working better than anybody else. Whatever they're doing, it ain't working as good as what Michael Saylor's doing.
Daniel wonders what the price would be without Bitcoin. Well, we can tell you because prior to all this Bitcoin madness,
I'll tell you right now,
this was a $1 stock.
I'll tell you right now. So the market capitalization of MicroStrategies is 54 billion. Holy shit. Before this, it was irrelevant.
54 billion.
Yep.
Is that what you just said?
Yep. Isn't that insane?
54 billion. That this company.
Does that piss you off, Spencer?
No, it doesn't piss me off. It's just like insane that it like that's like five that's like the entire U.S. airline industry combined, right? That's like every airline put together.
Well, airlines suck, so
yeah, but still, that's like it's not quite the entire because Delta's pretty big, but like it's close. It's close to the entire airline industry put together, right? Like Delta plus American plus United.
So I'll tell you right now. So this goes back to 2020. So the market capitalization was under $1 billion. Before incorporating the Bitcoin strategy, it was under $1 billion. So you're looking at about a 50x in market cap. Not bad. Not bad, Mr. Saylor. Well done, sir. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, look, credit to him.
Seriously. I mean, how many conversations have we had over the years where we're like, this guy's either going to go down as a hero or as just a crazy lunatic. And I would argue it's probably a good, healthy dose of both. I think to be a hero like this, you got to be a crazy lunatic. No?
Yeah, that's calling someone a lunatic is not the insult it used to be. In some ways, it's a compliment.
Yeah.
But
Like,
yes,
to think that this was a good idea, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be, you got to have some loose screws.
for 100%,
And that's okay.
definitely. Oh yeah, you have to have loose
Like
screws
Elon
to
Musk. You don't think Elon Musk has a few loose screws?
100%. You have to be crazy to think of some of these things, for sure.
Here, throw up slide 3 there, Spencer.
Somewhere Peter Schiff. Yes, Stock Market Mike is absolutely correct. Somewhere Peter Schiff is fuming about this.
Yeah, that's his problem. That guy's, speaking of people that have problems. So this is it. So you can see there in 2020, stock was under $1 billion. So this is the market capitalization. Speaking of chart crimes, I could have made that y-axis thicker. Sorry, guys. Apologize. Right. Here I am bragging about how great our charts are. I'm showing you guys this. So my bad, guys. My bad. Unacceptable, JC. Right, Spencer? We need a bigger y-axis. Here we
I think under the conditions, fine.
Here, throw up because I mean the idea is here to be able to see the market capitalization. Here you go.
A new one?
Yeah, just switch it so you can see the y-axis. So 54 billion. Look at that. Look at that. 54 billion. Look at that. So you're looking at a $1 billion market cap. So whoever was asking what it would be worth, 1 billion is probably a little much. You know, I was reading something about Elon Musk that he made on the PayPal deal. He made like $180 million or something, $150 million. He put like 100 million in Tesla, like 50 million in SpaceX, and like 25 million in something else. And then he had to borrow money to pay rent.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Think about that. I'm gonna say it again. He made, and the numbers are a little fuzzy, but basically he makes $180 million in PayPal. He immediately takes 100 of that, puts it into Tesla, 50 million puts it into SpaceX, and then 30 million for something else.
Yeah, I mean, there are famous stories of Elon Musk like being,
and then he
like,
borrows money to pay rent.
Well, there are stories of him being like homeless. Not that he like was literally home, but like he didn't like have a home, and he would just like couch surf like on like Steve Jobs' couch or whatever. Like he would just like because he didn't have like a place to live because he was living at the office, right? So yeah, there's tons of stories about that. You have to be
that is wild, man.
You have to be crazy.
I mean, you take you don't just keep a couple million, so you have a house to live in.
I don't know, man.
I mean, seems a little aggressive, like investing all of it and then having to borrow money to pay rent. Like it seems like a lot. It seems unnecessary.
Why don't I bring on Louis here to tease this event we're doing later and maybe share a chart or two?
Yeah, please do.
All right, Louis, you ready? I hope so.
Got my fingers on the pulse, avocado and toast, leather seats, jet plane, always ready to go.
Ooh, what's up, Ludo?
Guys? How is it going? Lovely to be talking crypto with you. You know, Stock Market Mike, I was actually doing a bit of travel today on a bit of a road trip, listening to the Peter Schiff podcast, and my God, was that man a little bit angry today.
Peter Schiff, I'm having trouble hearing you, Louis.
You got the right mic on? Can you move the mic closer or something? Or do you have you're on the right mic? Maybe you're not.
Yeah, I'm on the right mic. Maybe you can turn me up.
Oh, let me try something. Let's try that.
How we doing, Lou Dog?
Hey guys, is that better?
All right, is that better?
Yeah, that is better. Nice.
All right, I bumped you up a little bit.
What are you talking about, Peter Schiff?
I'm just saying, I was on a road trip today, and talking about Peter Schiff, I was actually listening to his latest podcast episode, and man, is that guy angry right now.
Is he? Why?
I mean,
he's gold at all-time highs?
He's always angry.
I mean, he's like the exuberance.
Really
he's like, I love the Trump victory, but the exuberance is just, I hate it.
Sounds about right.
I don't understand. What is it that he's so mad about? And is he actually mad, or is that just a shtick?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But look, it's let's just talk crypto. crypto has just been,
please.
it's bananas, right? Bitcoin all-time highs, ETH just broke out of a base, Solana pressing out of this new out of this base, multiple highs just expanding across the board. Like, what's there not to love about the asset class right now?
Well, you tell me. So this is today. So this is what we're going to be. This is where you're going to drop. You're dropping the link to join us today at noon, there, Mr.
Oh yeah,
Schmidt?
the link again is pinned to the top of the chat and at the very top of the description. So that's where you can find it.
So Louis, can you talk to me about this breadth expansion, right? Because I haven't quantified it and actually counted, but just kind of anecdotally, just watching these things every day, I'm seeing more and more and more of them breaking out to new highs.
Yeah, so look, Bitcoin is above this, it's making new all-time highs, right? And it's going to be heading to 100K. That's the target. And so, if Bitcoin is heading to 100K, that's a great trade, right? But the real money is to be made within these smaller coins, right? Because Bitcoin going from 70K to 100K, you're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5x's if you play it right. Just looking at these meme coins that are exploding, the real world asset theme that is exploding, that's where the juice is. And so now that Bitcoin is at all-time highs, now is the time to aggressively push the bets down the cap scale and looking to get as much beta to the asset class as you can.
Do you think it's funny that as bullish as we are Bitcoin and as high as we think Bitcoin goes, the vehicle to express a bullish thesis in Bitcoin is not Bitcoin at all?
Exactly. It's it just makes total sense, right? And it's not just unique to crypto, because if you're going to go have a look at, say, the S&P 500 or technology, that's playing XLK isn't necessarily going to be a vehicle, right? You want to go underneath the surface and find where the strongest opportunities are. This is just classic top-down technical analysis. We know that we're in a bull market now. We know that momentum is here, and we've got this important catalyst that's essentially just exploded Bitcoin higher out of the space. Now that we've got all of that, it's like, okay, how do we play it? And so that's why I'm working down the cap scale right now. That's where the opportunity lies.
And then how low do we realistically need to go? So like when we talk about going down the cap scale, people just assume that you're talking about penny stocks, because anything that's not Bitcoin is like this tiny little nothing scam, which we know is not the case at all, but that's just the impression. How far realistically do we need to go?
I think 100 million is a really good threshold, because you really want to juice your returns, right? Like, you want to get the exposure to those 2, 3, 4, 5x's, but at the same time you don't want to be buying something that's just going to go to zero, right? And so just being really, really mindful of that. And so I like getting down in the weeds, and it can be a little bit scary to do that, because when you get going down that low to 100 million market cap, around that sort of threshold, then you're kind of crossing into the border of like, okay, this thing could go to zero tomorrow. And so that's why you really need to navigate it really quite carefully.
Yeah, but even in the worst case scenarios, they don't literally go to zero
I
overnight.
was about to say, that's the difference between crypto and stocks. Right,
well,
there.
no, but even the worst cryptos don't go to zero overnight. It's a process. Like even Terra Luna didn't go to zero overnight. It was a process.
Yeah, exactly. And the probability of this happening with Bitcoin going to 100K is, almost zero. And so, it's one of these market environments now where you want to be pushing the risk aggressively.
And then Louis, what about from a regulatory standpoint? We talk about, the prior cycles in Bitcoin, and regulations were always an overhang and always a headwind. The fact that now we have regulatory tailwinds, how important do you think that is? And especially someone from New Zealand, it's not even here in America, but how are you thinking about all this? Is this real?
Look, I've got no horse in the race, obviously. I'm a New Zealander, I'm a Kiwi. I don't really give a shit who's in the White House or who isn't, right? So I'm just trying to look at this objectively.
I'm offended on behalf of all Americans.
Yeah.
Tell him, Louis. I don't give a shit about you Americans. I'm just worried about myself. Tell him, Louis.
But what I can say is that when you look at the stock market, right, what is the stock market like? It likes a either a Democrat House and a Republican Senate, or vice versa, right? So there's gridlock, and so the regulators can't do anything that can mess with these companies. But in this case, now that we've got a Republican House, we've got a Republican Senate, obviously a Republican in the White House, I feel like that is moving towards a place where it is crypto friendly. Obviously, the Republicans took that stance. They were the pro-crypto party, and you're clearly seeing that in the price action. If that theory was full of shit, then you wouldn't see the market pricing this in before the election. You obviously wouldn't have seen this massive pump following the election. And so I think there's a clear regulatory headwind, and or tailwind, should I say? And don't just take my word for it. Like, look at someone like Mike Novogratz. He's the one who's saying now that there is a sizable tectonic shift movement within the crypto space because of this. And so if you're not getting that exposure towards this, then I just think you're being reckless.
Wait, I like what JC said in his email. I don't know if it was last night or this morning, but like how every crypto bull market kind of builds on itself. Like in the stock market, for example, bull markets may be led by different groups of stocks, but by and large, it's the same overall pie, right? But cryptos, we've gone from like one major currency to like a handful of major currencies to a handful of major currencies plus NFTs and meme coins to a handful of major currencies plus NFTs plus meme coins plus ETFs now and miners, right? Like it just builds on itself, and it builds and builds and builds, so that there's just more. The overall pie gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and each bull market kind of builds on the previous one. So is that kind of how you see it?
Yeah, and then you just look at the change between even just the last bullish cycle to this cycle, where the parties that were involved in the previous bull run were, FTX, Binance, and then you go to the cycle before that, you get BitMEX, and so you get these really dodgy exchanges. Now, it's completely different. You've got Coinbase,
we've
the
gone from Mt.
CME is the
Gox to
largest
BlackRock,
derivatives
right?
exchange, BlackRock. You've now got the power of the US government, baby, America. It's really just, it's, I agree.
Yeah. Mt. Gox to BlackRock. Come a long way.
Louis, what about this QB, this bank, right? So when they got rid of, the chokehold 2.0, what did they call it? Choke point. What was it? Chokehold 2.0? Is that what they called it? No?
I don't
Hello?
know, man.
What?
When they shut down the banks, SBNY and Silvergate, what was it called? Choke point 2.0?
I didn't know that there was a term for that.
So anyway, they shut down these crypto banks, even though there was no reason for them to do it because they didn't like that they were banking crypto. But then this company QB exploded this week, and it's one of those crypto banks. But the way Strazza explained it to me is that it wasn't a crypto bank back in the day, and now it is. That's why they didn't shut it down. No? Choke point 2.0. There we go. See? Somebody's paying attention.
Yep.
Right.
And to your point, the ways that you can play this Bitcoin bull market, so you've got the individual altcoins that can juice your returns 2, 3, 4, 5x. Then you've got the individual stocks, right? And so you've got the Bitcoin miners. I'm tremendously bullish on the Bitcoin miners right now. They, have always tended to offer outsized returns in a bull market. And so again, if Bitcoin's going from 70K to 100K, again, you're looking at multiple baggers within these Bitcoin miners. And then within companies like QB, now that there's more regulatory clarity, I think you're going to see a lot more firms, pivot towards crypto, whereas others that did it early, obviously Signature Bank, Silvergate, it was almost like the first timers curse, where they got in a little bit too early. But now you're starting to see that shift, with something like QB.
That TerraWolf hitting new highs yesterday.
Hell yeah, baby.
So it's considered capital markets because they're a Bitcoin miner. In their profile, it doesn't even say that they mine Bitcoin. They operate as a digital asset technology company. All right. Why can't you just say Bitcoin mining?
What's hilarious is that, Riot Platforms changed their name from Riot Blockchain to riot platforms on the day the stock bottomed. Like, how hilarious is that?
Yeah. I mean, that's sentiment. When, like all these coal stocks took out the word coal out of their names, right? When, coal was bottoming out, right? I mean, same thing.
But you don't have any of that now. Bitcoin is breaking to new all-time highs, and you compare where sentiment is today to where it was in March and February earlier this year. Obviously there was a lot of exuberance following the first Bitcoin ETF. You saw that on the futures market. You saw exuberance with funding rates, but now you're not getting that this time around. And so I think that's tremendously bullish.
Let's take the other side. Let's play devil's advocate. What changes all this? What happens where, you say, wow, crypto's crashing, everything's completely falling apart. Like, what does that look like? What would be the first dominoes to start falling if we're in for an environment where that's happening?
Well,
You
you would
lose the
need
new all-time highs
Bitcoin.
in Bitcoin, probably, right?
Yep, you'd need Bitcoin back below 74,000. So this breakout would have failed. So that would be step number one. Then you need to get an expansion of new lows. That's step number two. And then you start seeing more breakdowns to new lows within the altcoins. That's step number three. You're obviously nowhere near that right now. And so it's just taking it one step at a time. And so no evidence that this Bitcoin breakout is going to fail anytime soon. Of course, there is a lot of funky things going on here, and so that could be a reality, but no evidence of that whatsoever. And so, for the time being, that's smooth sailing ahead.
I love it. So, Louis, today, noon, we're going to be really going over all of this. Louis done a great job of being able to sort of turn all these cryptocurrencies and put them into different sectors, right? So, like, we talk about like the meme coins and the infrastructure coins and the layer twos and all this stuff and all these different categories or sectors, if you will, in cryptocurrencies. I don't think anybody in the world has done it better than you, Louis.
Hey, I appreciate that. I think one of the things that crypto hasn't really done very well is actually explaining what the hell all these cryptos do in simple language that we can all understand.
Yeah, you shared that chart a few weeks back. I think it was internally. Kind of blew my mind the way you broke down. I've never seen the industry broken down the way that before. Like by sector, right? And it's for someone like me that like understands it, but is not nearly as in the weeds as you are. It really helped me understand. Okay, what is going on here, and who do I actually want to care about, right? So you'll talk more about that at the Nooner event today. Right. So again, link in chat, link in description. We'll be there. And you'll be there as well. So I hope you're there because if you believe what we've been saying, if you believe the charts, which don't lie, then we are entering. This is it. Like we have entered. We have entered.
There you go, Spencer. I was about to
Yeah.
say, Spencer's like, we're entering. No.
We have entered the new bull market.
Don't let the door kick you on the way out.
Yeah.
I just want to get just chiming in from our chief YOLO officer, one Steve Strazza, who's driving up to Atlanta. He says, and I quote, "I am planning to listen to 6 earnings calls today." 6 earnings.
I had to
calls.
guess.
Aye.
If I had to
See,
guess,
I'm happy that crypto doesn't have earnings.
If you're Strazza's girlfriend, like you're in the car with him listening to this crap, or does she put headphones on, you think?
No, because a lot of them you can just fast forward. They're like only like 10% of them are actually important, right? But like, let's see. If I had to guess, I would say DraftKings, which was reported last night.
You're saying what he's gonna listen to?
Yeah, Airbnb, maybe they reported last night. Who else do I think you'll listen to?
Uber, Palantir.
Uber, Palantir, maybe. Interest got rocked last night. I saw. I don't know.
Fun fact, Spencer Israel. Strazza's going to listen to 6 earnings calls today. I haven't listened to 6 earnings calls in my entire life.
That's hilarious.
Some of them really like. Some of the Q&As are somewhat enlightening. If you just skip the opening statement, which is pointless because it's all written down anyway. You just skip all that and go straight to the Q&A. You can learn a thing or two.
Sometimes. Still, like when they ask the questions, is it like, "Hey guys, great quarter"? Like,
do
that?
Yeah. They always say, "Hey,
even if the quarter sucks, they're like, hey guys, great quarter.
Congrats on the great quarter. I want to ask you about your operating margins in China. Blah 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 blah."
That sounds terrible. Yeah, that sounds horrible.
Okay, fine.
I feel
Whatever.
sorry for Strazza's second half. It's one of the many perks of dating a finance bro.
That's what happens. Yeah, you listen to conference calls on your road trip instead of music like a normal person. The other thing that I was gonna say, Steve Wynn. Steve Wynn is usually pretty hilarious on his calls, isn't he? Isn't he like known for being like the best?
Steve Wynn, dude. What year are you in?
No?
No, Steve Wynn hasn't been there. No, man. Steve Wynn is out.
I was under the impression that the Steve Wynn earnings calls are the best because he's the man.
He has not been the CEO of Wynn for a number of years at this
Really?
point. Oh yeah.
Shows you how in the know I am when it comes to this stuff, Louis.
No,
You see
no.
that?
The best conference calls are always restoration hardware.
Really?
Yeah, because that
Why?
guy thinks that every quarter is either the best quarter they've ever had or it's the end of the world, and there is no middle ground. So those are fun. Those are fun. We'll talk to Jeff Mackey about that in a couple weeks when they report.
All right, looking forward to that. I'm gonna hop out. Louis and I have to prepare for noon. Ladies
Yes, they
and
do.
gentlemen, I will see you at noon. We are ready to rock and roll.
Let's go,
Big-
baby. See you there.
Big call. We don't have emergency state of the market meetings quite very often, but this is happening. This is really happening. So we can't mess around. I was talking to my little sister today. I was like, it's happening. It's happening. You know, Trump got elected, deregulation, crypto is mooning.
Exactly. No, make no bones about it. It's and particularly coming from me, right? You know, the bull market's here, and if you're not taking advantage of it, then you're just being irresponsible. So that's precisely what we're going to be doing at noon. Is going over.
The emergency is, Bub. The emergency is that investors are not long enough. Investors don't have enough exposure to cryptocurrencies. You know how I know that? It's because we have the data.
All right, I'll see you guys there at noon. All right.
All right, see you there. Adios.
That's good.
All right, crypto Fridays. Louis and JC are going to go prepare for that. Let's pivot off crypto for a second. Let me get that caption off the screen. Let's bring on Alfonso. Yeah, no Kenny today. I forgot Kenny did say yesterday that he was not going to be here today. He's also going on a road trip somewhere or something. I don't know. But I do have Alfonso here. So let's bring Fonz on, see what's on in his mind, and then we'll head out a few minutes early. How about that? Fonz, you ready? I hope so.
Yes,
Oh, no, I'm gonna edit your name real fast. There we go. All right, Fonz, what's doing?
Everything good?
Yeah. How are things in Venezuela right now? They okay?
Yeah, they are okay. They're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good sign always.
Are you as bullish crypto as these guys are right now?
I'm very bullish. I mean, I've been waiting for this breakout for a long time. I think all crypto investors have been waiting for this moment. I think it's happening right now. Of course, the elections were like the catalyst for this breakout, not only for Bitcoin, but for the most risk areas of the market. So I bring some charts here. For me, I have to start with small caps. I mean, small caps at an index level, they were in a sideways range for 3 years. Now they're breaking out to new all-time highs with a breakaway gap, bullish momentum regime. So seeing small caps breaking out and participate, it's always bullish. So that's one point I would like to make. And within small caps, of course, regional banks come to mind. Ripping higher, that's a massive gap to the upside after 4 months of consolidations. So if banks are doing okay, if small caps are doing okay, risk appetite, it's more than alive here.
You noted how we've been waiting for crypto to break out for a long time. I mean, it's really only been like 6 months, but like in crypto land, time moves faster, right?
Yeah, but also
so 6 months for crypto feels like 6 years, right?
But also you have to zoom out. I mean, I agree with you that we have been waiting for 6 months, 7 months. But look at this massive base.
Yeah, like
When
seven
you
or 8
zoom
months.
out, Bitcoin has done basically nothing for the past 3 years.
That's true.
Since its peak in 2021. So now the fact that it's breaking above that former highs from 2021, that's very encouraging for cryptocurrencies in general.
That's a really good point. You could say it's done nothing for 3 years. That's right.
Yeah. So I agree with Louis. I mean, as long as we're above 74, 73, I think the path of the resistance is higher. I think Bitcoin can go, much higher. But 73, 74, it's the line in the sand.
Yeah, and look, and we thought this was going to happen like in March, right? We thought, and we were wrong.
Mhm.
But this time it's happened, right? Like
Yeah, I
clearly.
mean, this is a classic. What we saw in the past 6 months, it's like a textbook or classic behavior of how buyers absorb overhead supply at these resistance levels. They finally did it, and they are taking control, pressing against new all-time highs. So I think next, like a legs higher is underway for crypto. Of course, Ethereum has to participate. Solana, it's doing very impressive this week too, pressing against new highs, not all-time highs, but trying to approach that former highs. Definitely the Dogecoin and these meme coins ripping higher. It's also it speaks of risk appetite and risk-seeking behavior. And that's what you can say about crypto. But in general, we have a leg higher for the stock market. Small caps, banks, even biotechs are trying to break out and complete this bearish to bullish reversal pattern. So if biotech can go, and as well as banks, I mean, expect the broader market to see like a big expansion in participation. What are your
So banks, biotech, Bitcoin. That's where it's at right now.
Yeah, I mean, small caps, biotechs, banks, Bitcoin, and I don't want to forget. Let me put this slide. Wait.
Just to be clear, not everything is going up. I know we're acting like it is, but that's not true. I mean, not everything.
Well, we have seen, just look at, for example, communications, some speculative growth names and sectors and industries are ripping higher. Look at the ARCs, look software, look cybersecurity, pressing against new all-time highs. So everything is working right now. And even China, it seems ready to go, even though I know some people don't like China because they don't trust in China or whatever. It is information, the fact that price is pressing against the upper bounds of this reversal base. So if China is participating or start to participate, that's your final take on this bull run, right?
In other words, we're seeing like classic risk on behavior. If you look at utilities this week, not a great week. Staples, not a great week. Real estate, not a great week. Just so all like the defensive sectors are not up, and the offensive ones are. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just classic risk on behavior. All those those like fear and greed gauges that JC hates so very much, they're all firmly in the green right now. Like they're in greed mode across the board. And which is great, because this is where money is made. So no complaints.
Yeah, and I think this chart tell the story that you're making right now. This is consumer discretionary versus consumer staples on an equally weighted basis, breaking out of a multi year base, like a monster base to new all-time high. So that's big of risk-seeking behavior in the market.
Good. Love to see it. See it. And we're not too far off from like the end of the year, holiday season.
Yeah, exactly.
mean-
We're entering the best 3 months period for the stock market. So it's coming in this puzzle, and the weight of the evidence suggests.
I do have a bone to pick. We just came out on like the worst 6-month period, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if something is the worst 6-month period, then by definition, the other half has to be the best 6-month period, right? There can only be two 6-month periods.
Yeah, I don't see it in that way. I mean,
No?
yeah, well, yeah, I understand what you said. But yeah, we are entering a strong period right now. We just left a week's seasonal period, especially September, October, mostly those months. The stock market was like very resilient into those months. So if the stock market was acting strong or was acting well in that month, imagine what it can do in this seasonal month.
Yeah, that's fair. Quick PSA: are you getting Alfonso's daily note? Everyone watching this, if you're not, you should. The link is in the chat, and it's also in the description on YouTube. I just been dropping the chat right there. Alfonso sends us out every day. What, around 6:30 in the evening with one chart. This is Alfonso's chart of the day. Alfonso is maybe the most prolific in terms of chart output. Like you make the most charts. And this is your favorite one of the day every day.
Yep.
So you don't get this, you should. It's free, it's daily, and like most things that we do, this is the best part. It is easy to understand and consume. It takes maybe 30 seconds to a minute to like comprehend, right?
Yeah,
right.
Trying to keep it simple. So
yeah, keep it simple, stupid. That's right. So get the chart of the day. If you don't get it, you need to. Alfonso's been crushing it.
Yeah, do it.
Any final thoughts for us, Fonz?
Well, back to the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies conversation. I'm waiting for this Mara to participate, man. I have been waiting for this one. I think it will participate. It will catch up higher. So if Bitcoin is still above 74, and if Bitcoin goes, definitely I like these miners as a leverage vehicle to express a bullish thesis. I think, of course, Wolf is doing great. Other miners are doing probably better than Mara. Riot is doing much better, but I think for a catch-up play and a catch-up strategy, Mara has a lot of upside potential. So if Mara, as you can see in the chart, reclaims 20 level, I think the squeeze is on. So I really like this one. So yeah, pay attention to Mara.
All right, Fonz, I'm gonna let you go. All right.
Okay.
All right. And I misspoke earlier, everyone. Sorry about that. I don't know why I thought Kenny was not going to be here today. Kenny is here today. So let's talk to Kenny. He's here. And we haven't talked any like morning movers or earnings. And that's why I like Kenny, because he is of the same ilk as me, where he cares about like what's up and down pre-market. So let's see what's on Kenny's radar right now. And then we'll hop off of you a few minutes early. How does that sound?
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they took it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola.
Yeah.
Yo. Are we buying Airbnb this morning? Are we fading Doximity? What's going on?
UPST, DraftKings, Trump, and Lunar. Yeah, we're already on
UPST.
fire.
Okay, Upstart is up 17% this morning on their report.
Yes.
Is that what we're fading?
The fade has happened, and now it's being confirmed by VWAP.
Okay.
But by the way, good morning. If we have a chance next week, I was talking to Ralph Akampora's nephew yesterday. Great guy. His name's Todd Shaw. Also the grandfather or the grandson of Alan Shaw, which is incredible. So we got some really cool guests for next week if you want to schmooze. If we're
Oh,
free
damn.
next Thursday, so we'll have Uncle Ralphie on the show. I got to tell that guy. I mean, he was on every stock that I liked back after the .com, all those blown up names, and he was a big fan of Akamai, and it was really a great trade for us. And
Wow.
a lot of names. I liked always his commentary. He was right to the point, very specific, and I always think it'd be fun to talk to him next week. So either next week or the week after.
Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, the Dead Show. These guys ripped Todd Sherrod, Tash Neal, and this guy Palmieri. These guys were going. They did a 20-minute version of Magic Bus, and it was a Magic Bus by the Who. I mean, I went to a concert yesterday, and maybe it was the room was maybe twice the size as this office. So sick. These guys were ripping. So it was a good time.
Wait, this was a cover band, right? This was not like.
Yeah, last night we were in. It's a group called Wall Street Dead Ahead. It's basically financier guys, bankers, basically anybody in the industry that likes the dead. And the woman that runs it.
What a weird group that must be. A bunch of Wall Street people who are also deadheads.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And
there can't be that many of you.
Oh, there's a huge amount. Yeah, that's the most amazing part. And you got artists in there. This guy Tom Lynch, I'm gonna have him on the show also. He's pretty cool.
The hell?
Met a bunch of good people. Most of these guys I know. But yeah, just these guys were just ripping it up yesterday. But
okay. Awesome.
The event's great because she just knows people. If you guys know Dead & Company, she's friends with the keyboardist, so he shows up every once in a while, and there I am singing behind him. And next thing you know, I'm watching this guy perform in front of 30,000 people, which is just so wild. It's so wild.
Amazing. All right, real fast here. Market's about to open. Upstart. Fade already happened.
I'm looking at Lunar. That's my lotto pick from yesterday. It's already doing what we needed to do. Dipping and ripping. I got some $10 calls from yesterday. I'm probably going to buy more. This thing's coming out of a 3-month range here. So here's the yearly chart. I thought this stock was ready to roll over and die and go back to $2, but instead it's consolidating and breaking out. Bought more yesterday. Probably going to buy. I already bought more today. If it breaks over 10, that's going to probably trigger those $10 call buyers, and we could be looking at $11 stock, maybe an $11.65.
This is a space exploration infrastructure and services company. LUNR, Intuitive Machines.
Yes. The kids love this one. It's all on the Reddit. And DraftKings was all right. And, again, I'm just looking to see if there's going to be any selling today. I don't think there's going to be because everybody's super bullish. Everybody at this party was bullish, which is kind of scary. Everyone's staying Bitcoin at 120,000. I got guys that shut their hedge funds down and just are all crypto, which is so bizarre coming from older guys that were just, shitting on Bitcoin, couldn't care less about this 5 years ago. And now that's all they're doing. So it's a very, very crazy dynamic going on. And everybody was bullish everything yesterday. So,
wow.
So it's again, sometimes you look at it as that contrary, but you know what? I don't see any reason to be counterintuitive here.
We all have our own anecdotal signals, and I don't think that counts as one because you're talking to people who are in the business. So when your mom is talking to you about it, maybe that's your signal, right? But
right. What I'm hearing is a lot of guys still have plenty of cash to put to use. So, and they're just waiting for the dip to buy. And that's what I've been saying for months. There's just this huge underlying bid. We can't literally go down because everyone's just waiting to buy. So a lot of these guys just confirm my idea here. And yeah, it looks good. So good luck.
All right. Hit thebid.com, guys. Kenny's live every single morning starting at around 8:30 all freaking day, live trading through the open and beyond. And if you do day trade and you're not trading with his VWAP indicators, your life is a little bit harder. So check it out.
Wait, before what was my first Dead show? I think I saw the Dead 88. So yeah, so I was 17 years old. Wow. 1988, I think Nassau Coliseum. Yeah, good time.
Wow. All right. Hit thebid.com, guys. Free trial. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. Kenny, have a good one, man. We'll talk to you
have a good weekend.
Next week.
We'll talk more about getting Ralphie on the show.
All right. Sounds good. Hey, that's going to be our show for the day. We're going to end it a few minutes early. That's okay. We can do whatever we want. This is our channel. This is the beauty of the internet. We're not on TV, do whatever. So once again, noon today, the live crypto emergency state of the markets post-election stream thing. I will drop the link in the chat one more time. It is pinned to the chat, and I'm going to drop it in there again. It is also at the very top of the description on YouTube. We do these types of events every so often, but we haven't done one for crypto in months because there's been nothing to talk about really besides just waiting for this breakout to occur. It's happened, right? So we're here for it. We've been waiting. We're here for it. We wait. It happens. We pounce. If you want to know how to profit from this next bull cycle, you need to watch this event. It's totally free, by the way. Totally free event today at noon. Probably go for around, try to guess, half hour, 45 minutes. It'll be recorded. So if you enter your email on that page, you'll get the replay afterwards. That's kind of like the best part is just if you don't have to be there live, it's okay. So noon today is that. We have the next episode of Off the Charts going live as well. Live from, I shouldn't say live. Well, yeah, the guys were at Oktoberfest a couple weeks back, and they did a bunch of interviews, man on the street type stuff. So that'll be going up on the channel today. And that's it for the channel for us this week. I'll be sending out the slides in a little bit from today's show and from the past couple of days as well. And we'll be back on Monday. I have started over the weekend now. I send with the charts from the whole week out on Saturdays, and then on Sundays I send out the schedule for the upcoming week's worth of guests. So I'll be doing that. If you get the Stock Market TV Daily Rundown, which is in the description, you will get those emails this weekend. And yeah, that's it. So thanks to Kenny, thanks to Fawn, thanks Louis for coming on. I know Louis it's very late for him / early, so we always appreciate him doing this. Thanks chat for hanging out. I'd appreciate you guys as well. It would help me a lot if you smash the like. That does help us. It helps us in the eyes of YouTube, and it makes YouTube more likely to recommend our show. It's a whole thing, but hitting the like really does help. It's why if you ever watch like a YouTuber, it's why they say to do that, right? They always say like and subscribe because it really does help on YouTube. So yeah, that's what we got. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at noon, hopefully for the live event. We will see you there. Go make some money, right? We're about to open. Bye.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss.